Alright, Jund Sarkhan here. We have Sarkhan the Masterless, kind of the cornerstone of the Jeskai Planeswalker archetype that's popped up as one of the tier 1 decks in Standard. We're trying a Jund shell here, which the big gain from being in Jund with Sarkhan is the fact that we gain access to these mana creatures, so that allows us to kind of play these cards ahead of curve. We have a variety of different other Planeswalkers to support around Sarkhan. We've got a couple of Rekindling Phoenix here as a resilient threat for the other control decks. One thing I'm not 100% certain on is the mana in this configuration. So we've got 10. Oh, I probably need to fix this mana. There's only 12 green sources in this deck. There's 12 green. And there's 7, 6, 13, 14, 15 black. I probably want more green in this mana base. How much red's in here? 4, 11, 12. Yeah, let's get a couple of Rootbound Crag is the last 2 in here. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, that gets me up to 14 red, and then Domri makes red, Paradise Druid makes red, and Leyline Prowler makes red, so that should be plenty. So let's go ahead and dive on in and see how this goes. Someone asked if we potentially have too many mana dorks. I don't know. That's definitely something I'm going to want to be keeping track of. One of the things that's relevant, one of the things I definitely want to keep track of is, like, how often is Leyline Prowler kind of a dud? Because, like, acceleration on turn 3 is kind of slow a lot of the time. And, like, while our deck has some 5s in it, doesn't have that many 5s. So, like, how often is it just, like, this awkward 2-3? That being said, the fact that it has lifelink means that it's going to have relevant text against, like, the aggro decks. And the fact that it's Death Touch means that it is kind of serviceable in mid-range matchups as well. Those are definitely things to think about. Like, there's only 24 lands in this deck, but because we have 10 mana dorks, or 11 mana dorks, we could potentially be flooding out sometimes, right? Like, this hand's a great example. I'm keeping a 2-lander, but my hand actually has 6 mana sources in it. Oh, wait, that's a mistake. If I want to play this on 2, I needed to lead on Stomping Ground, so this can come into play untapped. I guess I can just go tapped land Paradise Druid, but that seems bad. Alright, that's fine. They killed my thing, it didn't matter. You know, I haven't Dude Late, but I kind of feel like I want to work on one of those. So, one thing that's notable is that Dreadhorde Butcher is a warrior. So, like, you could play Jund Warriors with Dreadhorde Butcher in it, which seems kind of sweet. If they attack with both of these, I'm going to go ahead and trade. Just because, like, I have plenty of mana here. Also, Gutter Bones is a warrior. Gutter Bones is a warrior, of which I'm a fan. Oh, do you have a Jund Warriors in the queue? Oh, there totally is Jund Warriors in the queue. Perfect. I don't even have to do the legwork myself. Rug Life, thank you for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Gain 2. Man, we were talking about Leyline Prowler. I know it died to a Chain Whirler here, but, like, that still felt pretty okay. Like, that seemed pretty reasonable, all things considered. Hey, look, Angrath being bad. I think there's a chance this card's not playable. He's pretty mediocre in a lot of spots right now. The fact that his +1 doesn't deal damage to Planeswalkers makes him pretty mediocre in a lot of spots. Is this the actual last deck of the day? I think I'm probably going to do one more Dude Light. I'm not 100% though. Oh, you know what? This was a mistake. I should have shocked this in, because I could have hit them with Leyline Prowler, and this has lifelink, right? So, like, shocking this in to hit them with this just does 2 free points of damage, because it gains me the life back from the shock land. So, small misstep there on my part. If I lose this game with them at 2, I could have killed them. Sounds good, dude. Whoa, did they hit land? Oh gosh, if they hit land, we might actually be okay here. They must have another frenzy, right? This is I'm blowing up my frenzy before I play another one. Badell, thank you for the 4-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back.
I've weathered tougher storms.
Hey, good mana. Good mana is its own payoff. There's no warrior payoff in standard. Kids these days. Wow, is this good? Have my 3-power lifelinker fight your 2-1. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Dude Light coming in hot with the sub giftaroonies. We'll make warriors happen today. Then we'll wrap it up. An hour, 90 minutes with this one. We can do one more.
I'm not finished with you. Not by a long shot.
That Domri made me feel things. You and me both. Hey, Genrad, thank you for the half a year support. I appreciate it. Welcome back.
Let us begin. A curious choice.
There's the Karn I know and love. Neil Giraffe Tyson coming in hot with the 2nd month. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Gosh, we hit a removal spell to clear this out. We're just in such a good spot. Yeah, come on, hit me. I'm really surprised they blew up that frenzy without having another frenzy in their hand. Is that a removal spell? Kinda? I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what Rofalos does. Definitely not Chris. And Badell, thanks for the 4 months. Alright, so we're gonna gain 1 here, because they're gonna go block, sack, shoot this for 1. And then I'm gonna go Liliana plus Karn, make a Karn struct. No, that card's not playable. In fact, Elves is gonna play even less porous than before, because it gets to play the black-green Horizon land.
I am the man.
Hey, Rhino McGrath, thank you for the biddies. Hope you're having a fantastic Tuesday.
Rise and shine.
Evil cannot withstand a righteous arm.
Alright, I think we've stabilized on the back of Leyline Prowler. I believe Leyline Prowler has stabilized the board. Alright, so I'm going to make another one of these. I'm going to down tick this and draw 2 cards. Yeah! We on the prowl, ladies and gentlemen. Rampire Nighthawk. That's just that Rampire Nighthawk. That's excellent. Right? I tip my metaphorical hat to that one. Rampire Nighthawk. Oh, that's good. Alright, so I'm bringing in all my Doomblades. I'm bringing in Vivian and the extra trophies to deal with Experimental Frenzy. I need 2 more cuts here. Nah, it's just too slow and fair, Bedell. Like most of the cards in Modern Horizons, it's too slow and fair. Modern is an incredibly fast and brutal format. I'm gonna cut a couple of elves. Easy mulligan here. Not really interested in being Jund Gates against the aggro deck. This one has all my colors at least, but the spells are worse. Yeah, for whatever reason, this is a great hand. The tokens from the latest set don't work. I think they're probably just missing from the overlay application. Deal, you've killed him. Alright, all things considered, our 5 is really good here. It's kind of rude. I've been playing your Absent Heralist, and I keep having issues of flooding out or drawing all my 5-drops when I have 3 lions. How do I become luckier to avoid these problems? Well, I mean, like, so, I know your question there is kind of facetious in a way, but that's honestly one of the issues with that deck, is the fact that it doesn't play Explore creatures or something like Rixmanny to help smooth out its draw. Like, you don't have any cards that help you not flood out and die. So, like, while a little bit of that is variance, a lot of the other decks in the format have tools to allow that to happen to them with less frequency. That's something that's worth pointing out. This configuration might be light on ways to take Planeswalkers off the table, although I guess Ugin and what's it called? Ugin and Assassin's Trophy do take Planeswalkers off. So really hoping for like a Contempt or an Ugin or a Trophy. Take this Chandra out of play. We have all their creatures covered at this point. Yeah, I agree. Lightning Strike's in a really good position overall. The fact that it finishes off Planeswalker is a big deal. Like, it kills Narset after she down ticks once, which makes it really powerful. Kills most of the red creatures too.
Oh, it's you burning.
You got me. Gosh, if we hit an answer to this, we're gonna be so far ahead. Sorry, Llanowar Elves. You were too pure for this world. That cuts us off of casting Ugin, which is sad. But we can still cast the others. Alright, Karn, do your thing. Your big, beefy 5 loyalty. One thing that's awkward here, and this is something we mentioned, you know, the mana base could, we only have 14 red sources, so if we find Sarkhan, it's not currently castable.
I'll make use of that later.
Alright, well there's the land to make Sarkhan castable, so God bless. Yeah, some good old-fashioned Karn advantage. They might give us the Sarkhan this turn, so we don't have double red in play. Yeah, Chandra, the Chandra Planeswalker lines would definitely be classified as a brat. Yeah, if, like, this is a red source or we drew a red source for the turn, they'll, like, giving us the Sarkhan ends up, like, real bad for them.
I do not feel pain.
I do not feel pain. I am Karn. Love me. Love me.
It's just gonna be bad for you.
They probably want to Lightning Strike Karn here, huh? Sure, Chris. So what we're saying is that gamble of giving us the Sarkhan ends up worse for them if I already have a red source. I think I want a plus here and, like, try and dig to answers for this.
Good choice.
Of course, Sarkhan's kind of a soft answer. Those are two very reasonable cards. Goodbye, Felicia. Double spell Karns are like cheating, chat. They really are. If they don't draw an answer to Karn here. Alright, so that's like a pseudo answer, right? Because, like, now I have to trade Karn in to get my Planeswalker. Which I think is worthwhile. I think I just want to go get Sarkhan here.
Will aid us.
Alright, and then this is some of the power of Sarkhan, is that one of the reasons why a lot of these decks tend to struggle against red is they tend to lack closing power, and, like, Sarkhan is just an incredible amount of closing power. Like, he's basically 8 power for 5 mana. So they're dead in 3 here if they don't find an answer to Sarkhan. Oh, golly.
So much
I would like this thing to stop hitting me. There aren't that many creatures in my deck, so I would just like this thing to stop hitting me, please. Let's just, like, not die to this by mistake. So, Planeswalkers are summoning sick. Yep, dead on board. It's a pretty good first set. I feel like we hadn't had a strong contender for deck of the day just yet. We've had some kind of middling results, so it'd be nice if this one rolls off and ends up being it. This or Jund Warriors. Let's stand up for a bit. We've been sitting for a while. Enjoy it. Enjoy the ride, chat. Poor little desk, working hard to rise up. Not quite a Hearthstone hand there, but pretty bad. Turn 1 Llanowar Elves. Sneeper, gonna bottom that. Looking for some more lands here. Because while I do have these mana creatures, there's a good chance they die in a lot of matchups in this format. Alright. Hopefully they're playing Esper Hero, so our Lava Coil has text. They're playing Esper Control. We're going to have a lot of blanks game 1, which feels bad.
You show remorse. I'll show respect. Let's try this. Now what?
I'm gonna get Kaya's Wrath next turn and cry silently, but if we don't, our hand's really good. If we do get Kaya's Wrath and we draw a land, Karn's gonna, like, pull us into the game really nicely. Got Eternal Kefnet. Deal.
No sword can pierce my scales.
They have a removal spell. They get to kill my dragon and then kill my Sarkhan. Maybe I'm supposed to Karn and plus there to try and hit the land.
Trust me. You'll thank me later. You need to take a time out.
Right, so this is a trade on the Planeswalkers here, so it's like not the worst.
Evil have chosen.
The nice thing about this God Eternal Kefnet is it means I have to worry less about sweepers. If they sweep, they lose something of value as well, which is nice.
Let me know if you're up to it, too.
So 3 cards in their bin, so search still is a little bit off of flipping. And they binned the Kaya's Wrath there. God Eternal Kefnet explicitly one of the places where Nyx's Cruelty is notably better than Lava Coil. When the new gods are exiled to Ixalan's Binding, you can tuck them back into your deck. And then there's nothing under the Ixalan's Binding, so it doesn't prevent them from being recast.
I have reached my limit.
The time has come.
God Eternal Kefnet, notably lining up really well in the face of Rekindling Phoenix. I went ahead and grabbed my Sarkhan off the Karn last turn instead of plussing because I knew they had Vraska's Contempt in their hand.
You are only hurting yourself.
The odds I get vetoed here.
The choices we make reveal who we are.
I feel like there's a chance I get vetoed here. Maybe I'm just supposed to jam this. Yeah. It's tough to know. There aren't a ton of counterspells in all of these decks just because of the like, I feel like God Eternal Kefnet like means it's less likely that they have veto, just because like veto is not only bad against Little Teferi, but it's also like really bad with this card too, because it's an instant or sorcery that doesn't trigger this.
Not every fight can end in victory.
This is again looking to be one of those many games that Esper Control wins in game 1 where we're pretty far behind in large part because our deck just has cards that aren't good enough in this matchup. Game 1. Like if this had been a card with text that, like, for instance, could deal with God Eternal Kefnet, we'd have been in a reasonable spot, but it's not, alas. Go ahead and cut a variety of these removal spells. Probably cut the Leyline Prowlers. I definitely agree with the sentiment that the Exile Zone is, like, overused. In terms of, like, also being a zone that's, like, utilized as a resource. I don't think this is a Spyglass matchup. It's gotta be a Spyglass matchup, right? Is this card even playable? I think I should have cut those from the sideboard. I think Little Teferi has largely made Spyglass unplayable. Because, like, you rarely want to name Little Teferi, and then, like, Little Teferi just bounces the Spyglass to unlock whatever you've named. Like, the Spyglasses would be better off if they were just, like, more things that killed Planeswalkers. This hand's incredibly slow, but I don't think I can afford to go to 5. I just hope to, like, draw an elf or something off the top, or a meaningful 3-drop. I agree. This is my favorite Avatar in Arena right now by a lot. What's going on, EVGA? Thanks for the 4 months. Welcome back. Well, that was not the 1, 2, or 3 drop I was hoping to draw on the first couple. What's my take on current standard in comparison to the last few? I prefer this standard format to the one when Ravnica Allegiance was the last set, but I think I still prefer guilds as my favorite overall. Well, this doesn't just make me want to throw up in my mouth and never play again. Yikes. That's brutal. This card is so savage. I just, like, can't win anymore, right? I guess we'll take 1 draw step and a removal spell. Like, it's like, all right, I play Sarkhan. They kill my thing. They hit me with the thief again. Just get buried in cards.
Oh, I've done the hero thing before.
It's like 5 mana Teferi, tuck your dragon. Sure. Yep. All right. Well, they didn't have a way to attack through, I guess, so we've got that going for us. The problem is, I'm, like, out of action at this point. And, like, they have a Search for Azcanta going. Like, this is at 2. Joke's on you, I don't have any thoughts to erase, opponent. It's really fortunate that they didn't draw step that like they could have.
Might be a bad idea. Might demands power.
So the thing you're missing, Grath, on Vana is that you don't play Vana for her the ability to destroy random permanent. You play Vana because it's a 4/4 lifelink for 5 mana, essentially. So you're getting caught up in trying to utilize all the text on the card, when in reality that's a 5-drop bomb for against aggro decks. It's similar to Lyra. In fact, I've seen a lot of decks in Standard, the Esper deck split Vana and Lyra 1-1, because you can't have 2 of either in play at the same time. That's true. That's true. We were on the next level, and the draw step wouldn't have done anything either. Double ramp on the play with some good bombs in our hand is excellent here. Well, if we hit an untapped land next turn, we get to jam this Sarkhan the Masterless, which would be sweet. And if we miss, we still get to play Rekindling Phoenix, which is nice. Opponent checking out some of their options over there. Would a card like Bedevil be good for this deck? It's fine. We're playing Vraska's Contempt as a similar style of effect. It's possible that, like, the Sorcerer Spyglass in the sideboard would be better. It's just Bedevil or Angrath Rampage, though. Yikes. Land. Well, I mean... And this is the awkward thing about mana creatures, because, like, you play fewer lands to play mana creatures a lot of the time. So, like, this Leyline Prowler here, for instance, would have been better as just having a land, right? I don't know that that's strictly true, Zach. I think a lot of the matchups where I want extra Planeswalker removal are matchups where my opponent's going to be pressuring my board state a lot of the time. Which means that having access to things that just, like, can kill a Planeswalker while I'm on an empty board are a big deal. I also don't have that many creatures in a lot of those matchups. Like, Leyline Prowler boards down in the matchups where they're playing control. Because I just don't... I want less acceleration and more individual card quality. I agree that Domri's Ambush is good in decks that are full of creatures. I've had that card played against me a number of times. The fact that it makes your thing bigger is a big deal. It's a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B graph. Like I said, in my experience, when I see Vana, usually they're playing one Vana and one Lyra. They're playing both. Hey, Tom, thanks for the 31 months. I hope life is treating you well out there on the left coast. Welcome back. Six mana is a lot of mana. It's like an incredible amount of mana. And one of the things I think a lot of people miss when they're evaluating, especially newer players that are coming from games like Hearthstone, is that a 6-drop in Magic is much harder to cast than a 6-drop in Hearthstone, because in Magic, you have to hit lands to go along with that, right? So, like, your cards are exponentially harder to cast in Magic the more mana they cost, is basically what it comes down to. Yeah, I'll leave a random Lightning Strike in. I'm gonna leave a Planeswalker in. Let's leave extra threats so I have enough closing power. Attacking Chandra with Spellbreaker is great. This hand's wonderful. 1, 2, 3. It's just elementary. What could it be? Two-drop? Alright. Tapped land's almost a 2-drop, right? It's like 2-drop adjacent. Saved us 2 life. Yeah, curve considerations are a big deal in Magic. They're one of the more important evaluations you can do when constructing decks. The Leyline Prowler is so angry. He's just like, "Roar, I am Leyline Prowler. Roar. Hear me, Nightmare Beast roar." Alright, unfortunately our Nightmare Beast was turned into bacon there. Nightmare bacon, yep. Creed. And unfortunately our follow-up Leyline Prowler here is also going to be turned into Nightmare Bacon, but it is what it is. Hey, Razat, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. Hope your Tuesday is treating you well. Thanks for keeping me around. ready to prowl, ladies and gentlemen. To age myself, my favorite deck when I played Paper Magic was Earthcraft Squirrel Nest. I enjoyed it so much. I lost a lot, but people's face when the combo turned on was priceless. That one's still banned in Legacy for some reason.
Disgust me more than law and order.
You may regret that choice.
Ooh, candy. Wait, what? They gave me Leyline Prowler. Deal.
Ravnica deserves its demise.
I guess they have a way to bake in this, and that's why they gave it to me, and they can't bake in the Paradise Druid. That worked out well with Domri in play, though.
Are you certain of your decision?
Oh, double spell Karns are cheating. Double spell Karns are cheating, chat. They're just not fair. Karns plus is not it's not intended to give you 2 spells. It just was not balanced with that in mind. We have a Drake here. We have Josh, maybe. Oh, we have Finale. Okay. Sure. We're over 2K viewers, so all Karn are double spells now. That's great. So, we don't actually have that many creatures in our deck. This card is largely here to shoot down flyers and enchantments, but... Alright, 2 and 1, slow and steady. Got a little bit beat up by Esper, which it's probably not that surprising. Their card quality is a bit better than ours. We've not trophied any lands yet today, no. The Beef Muffin. Thanks for the 3 months. Welcome back. I appreciate it. This hand doesn't have a Mana Dork until 3, but we've got a Lightning Strike on 2, so it's probably fine. And Paradise Druid is being sandbagged on top of my deck, so that sounds great. Sounds truly wonderful. Feather deck. Got it. Our hand's probably pretty good against a Feather deck. We got a bunch of removal here. Land, please. Land, please. Another one of those games where our mana creatures are kind of just worse than having more lands in our deck. The Leyline Prowlers felt like very reasonable, but I kind of think these Paradise Druids would probably be better as like lands 25, 26, and then a spell. Like, imagine if these had just been land drops here. We'd be able to Vraska's Contempt this turn or stick a Rekindling Phoenix. Yeah, now they're gonna get to draw a bunch of cards. about to die, but like our opponent's about to draw a lot of cards, so it's going to depend on if they find a dive down to protect this. Like if we rip a land, we get to Contempt them next turn, which is nice. Feather's just like drawing them a casual 3 cards this game. This is a must kill on sight. I assume even if we hit mana, we're not going to be able to block this here. This is smart on their part, doing this during the upkeep. Because it means I have less of a chance to do this. Use a removal spell in response. Yeah, they likely have blue for dive down. Which is not good for us, having really expensive removal spells here in hand. I'm conceding if we don't draw land, and I'm conceding if we try to kill this and they save it. Six drops a land. Listen, nothing says Hoaglandia quite like needing to draw a land and drawing a 6-drop instead. Alright, this is just like an all Doomblades on deck matchup. We just want as many things as possible to kill their stuff. They're probably an Adanto Vanguard deck, right? So this Moment of Craving's probably not unreasonable. Ugin's a little slow. Dragging the curve down a smidge is probably fine. Ugin jokes are never off color. That's good. That's good. I hope you have children, random number god. Because that's a dad joke if I ever saw one. It's something, as something of an authority on the subject, that is a certified dad joke. Alright, so we boarded into Jund Gates here, but definitely a keepable hand. Yeah, cast down stock has definitely gone way down in the format. Also, another reason why cast down stock went down is we just got better tools. So, like, for instance, why would they board into Kali Honor Guard? Do they think I'm a Wild Growth Walker deck? They must think I'm a Wild Growth Walker deck, huh? Tyrant scored. Yeah, a lot of the decks that were previously playing cast down are blue-black decks, so they now have access to Tyrant scored. The biggest pro list for WordPress is that everything's super easy to do. WordPress is like the Python of web development. If there's something you want to do on your WordPress website, there's a 99% chance that someone else has already done that thing, and they've made a plugin to make doing that thing easy in the future. Just super, super convenient.
That's the sound of a stampede coming straight at ya.
Bravery wasn't enough.
Maybe this is a little aggressive just because I don't, like, if they have a feather, I'm out of feather answers at this point. They only have one basic in their deck. I guess that's to be expected. So if I draw another trophy, it's Vindicate. That's nice. Of course, there's a Teferi. This card's, like, probably great in this deck, just like it's great in everything else.
Have at it, boys.
If your deck makes blue and white mana, you should probably be playing Time Raveler in Standard. If your deck makes just blue or just white mana, you should probably ask yourself, can I splash the other color to play Time Raveler? That's unfortunate. Can't Moment of Craving because this card has a static ability. As a web dev, I'm a little hurt, but that's fair. For what it's worth, my commentary on WordPress was a compliment. WordPress is great. Like every time I want to do something. In fact, the only time I've ever gone to try and find something to do in WordPress that there wasn't a good plugin for was embedding magic deck lists on my website. And then thankfully the Stream Decker people were like, yes, we've been working on that. Here's our beta. And I was like, God bless. Yeah, I'm holding Contempt for a threat that kills me as opposed to this Planeswalker that does not kill me. They're gonna cast Dive Down and I'm gonna die. Alright, just to draw 2. Got it? Successfully killed their divination. As a Python coder, if I had to pay Stack Exchange for every solution they give me, I'd earn negative money, right? God bless Stack Exchange and things like it. You know, that's such a good comparison, Lance. It's very, Teferi is very comparable to Reflector Mage in both like the gameplay patterns and the feelings it elicits emotionally. So I felt like there were 2 fundamental issues with this deck. The first is that this deck experienced what I like to refer to as ramp deck problems, where it both simultaneously had too much mana because we had 11 mana dorks and 24 lands, while also experiencing not having enough mana in games where you were drawing too many mana dorks and not enough lands. The second issue I felt like this deck had is because we're not particularly aggressive and we're only curving out to like 4s and 5s with our ramp deck, it felt like I really lacked ways to generate a consistent flow of card advantage. So, in fact, the 2 Karns that I added before we started, these were quite excellent. A number of the games that we won, Karn kind of pulled us through that series of Flood. And especially against like aggressive decks where we have a lot of good tools to beat them, it's important that we hit a card like Karn to be able to draw 2 cards per turn, because eventually, because our deck has more mana sources than the lower curve aggressive decks, we're bound to flood out as we draw more cards because their deck just has a higher ratio of spells to mana compared to ours. So having a card like this that provides sustained card advantage every turn is important to pull you through so you keep your spell density up. So I feel like if I were to try something like this again, I would probably trim at least 3 of the mana dorks or so. I would want to get more card advantage here, probably a 3rd Karn, maybe another Ugin. I think Angrath probably leaves a little bit to be desired as far as Planeswalkers are concerned. The fact that his plus doesn't pressure opposing Planeswalkers is a big deal. And if I cut these mana creatures, I'd probably go up a land or 2, probably hit like 25 or maybe even 26 lands. Alright, what are we doing? We're going to wrap things up today with another Jund deck. We're going to play some Jund Warriors here next with Dreadhorde Butcher. It's one of my favorite cards in this format right now.